talking about these again, just to kind of break these down a little bit, right? Within SmartConnect, it's an integration tool. So we can send the project updates to that. We can send the bug updates to that. The status meeting notes, okay? This is something that we've done internally, is every time we have our status calls or we have calls with our customers, we have an automated note taker that tracks the notes for us. So what I've done with SmartConnect is I've pulled the notes from that note tracking system, which is all of the this is my to-do list. These were the questions that popped up as a reminder. And what I've done with SmartConnect is I've taken those meeting notes and I've embedded them in teamwork.com. I've taken those meeting notes and I've put them into CRM. That way, the salespeople who are sitting in CRM can go in and look at, oh, hey, this is the last meeting. The last meeting was yesterday. We're waiting on Bob from IT to give Mark access to your system. They don't have to call Mark to go, what are you waiting, what's going on, what's the status? It sits right there. So you have those meeting notes. It actually has the recording of that, a link to the recording of that meeting, so we can actually go back and review it if needed. And we've done that through the SmartConnect integration tool. And now I've got that information sitting where it needs to be. Popdock is a tool we call with a virtual integration. I just need to show the data where the users spend their time, right? It also gives you the ability to build queries for Business Central quickly and accurately. Gives you kind of a query building tool. So within Popdock, now I just take the information, right, from our bug tracking system and I display it within a widget within the system. And it gives you that concept of being able to go, I only want to show that information, right? So this is our Popdock tool, okay? So this is our tool, right? So this is Salesforce, can be any system that you live in, right? We're sitting under the account Giordano's. These are the current bugs that we've got for that particular customer that is open. So my salespeople can sit here and actually see the bugs that are listed. They can see that this one is in progress. They can see these other three are in the to-do list, right? It gives them the ability to see that information without calling the developer, right? Without Teams message, email, whatever that poll, and waiting for that, because this is a real-time view. So when I go into Jira, which is the system we're using for our bug tracking, and I update this bug to say it's fixed, and I put a release time on, release number on there, the salespeople will know that immediately because this will refresh. This is kind of a refreshable view that sits within there, and it gets that communication. It gives that ability to the people when they need it. They don't have to wait like, hey, Mark's giving a webinar right now and he can't answer the question, but the customer's on the phone wanting to know the situation and what's happening. They can see it right here. So you start putting that information and that power into that person's hands. We can do the same thing with the development, right? We can do that same thing with the project. You can see those meeting notes in here. Gives them that ability to be able to truly see that, right? This is that query building tool that I talked about that lives inside of Popdock. Gives me the ability to kind of join these, right? I've got the sales invoice line. I need to join it to the item ledger entry, right? Based on the item number. I need to filter on the line quantity, right? Where it's greater than 0. I can build these queries and get this information out of Popdock, right? So this is showing me sales lines for serialized items. Now, how do you go through and build that, right? This is a click and drag. This is a click, right? So this is just a click and drag the sales invoice line, the item ledger out there, showing how it's joined. And then you just go through on the right-hand side and you click the fields you want. It gives you that power to start building those Business Central queries to truly understand what it is that you want to do. Finally, we talk a little bit about that SmartConnect documentation, right? I said this was something that I needed to do. So within SmartConnect, right, I go to my documentation, I give it a description, and then I can come in and select which integrations, which thing that I'm going to do. Now, along with all of this, right? I talk a little bit about just this auto documentation, okay? But realistically, what you can help do with a lot of these tools is it's going to limit your interruptions, which is going to cause better code, which is going to cause your projects to be done sooner. It does that communication of the current status almost in a real-time method, right? It gives you that real-time communication without the interruptions, right? The salespeople sit and live in one spot. The support people live in one spot. They can see that information. The other side of that is now that we have that link into that customer, as soon as that bug is done and released, we can also communicate directly to the customer. I know I'm skipping to number 5 here, but you can actually send that communication to the customer that says, hey, you were waiting on bug 1, 2, 3, 4. It's fixed, refresh, and you're done. Or it's fixed and it'll be in build 1, 2, 3, 5, right? Whatever that process is, it gives you that ability. The status calls and the note taking, like I talked about, I automatically take those status calls and the note taking, right? Because if you you're in a status call, you're trying to take notes, but somebody says something else, you're still trying to take the note from the first thing and your mind is on that one, chances are you've missed something. So by using that automated note taking, that AI that is now available to everybody, it gives me that ability. I also send that to customers, which is back to that communicate to customers. It gives them this is the status call, right? This is a recap of what we did. I'm still waiting on Bob from IT to give us access. The documentation, I showed you a little bit about that. But by taking that list of bugs, I can then start doing this and putting those into that release notes, right? This is what was fixed in this particular version. And I can start automating some of these things by automatically pulling them out of the bug tracking system, automatically pulling them out of my project tracking system, and being able to pull all of those things together into one list and gives me the start to that documentation, gives me the start to that release notes, right? That documentation tool that says, here's all of the integrations that I just built for you with everything that has the criteria, it has the mappings, it has the calculations, it has everything that you need. It helps automate a lot of these things for you.